This is not like a normal Sunday service. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our church. I'm only here just to say a few housekeeping things. I'd be really, really grateful if you could turn off your phones completely so that we can all be really present to this afternoon's service. It is going to be live streamed, and there is a photographer, so there will be pictures to capture the day. If you do need to step out during the service, just go out from the door that you came, and if you need a wee, you can go through that door. I think that's all I need to say. We're going to begin with a piece of music which is very close to my heart, and I hope that it will just settle us in before we begin.
Hail guest, we ask not what thou art. If friend, we greet thee hand and heart. If stranger, such no longer be. If foe, our love shall conquer thee. If stranger, such no longer be. If foe, our love shall conquer thee.
Good afternoon. Afternoons are strange in here. It's unusual. And a warm welcome to this service of ordination and induction for the Reverend Jennifer Sanders. I'm Jo, and I'm the chair of the committee here at Brighton Unitarian Church. This is a long-awaited day for both us as a congregation and for Jennifer, and we are delighted that so many of you have come to share in this joy. Some of you may be entering the church for the first time, and we extend a special welcome to you to this, our sacred space in the heart of the city. There are people here from the congregation and from other churches and chapels across the UK, from Wales to Northern Ireland, Devon to the Midlands, and even further away for those of you joining us on Zoom. Thank you for taking the time to be here. There are also those of you who are here to celebrate with us from other parts of Jennifer's life, their family, friends, peers, and colleagues. Whether you've known Jennifer since childhood or in more recent times, your gift of your presence today is heartfelt by Jennifer and by the congregation. So welcome, welcome, welcome. There are probably some of you entering a Unitarian church for the first time and maybe thinking, who are we? I hope that this service will provide some answers, but in brief, here we recognize the worth and dignity of all people and their freedom to believe as their consciences dictate, uniting in a spirit of mutual sympathy, cooperation, tolerance, respect, love, and compassion. Unitarians generally believe in the oneness of God, and when the God word is used, we welcome you to use your own concept of what that might mean for you, if that word isn't for you, or use other words. I like the spirit of life, which is used in one of our hymns, also love or the divine, whatever feels right for you. In most Unitarian chapels and churches, we begin our service by lighting our chalice. Here it is, which connects us to our faith, to a light of hope, and is a symbol of religious freedom and diversity. We will ask Julia to light. Joanna said she didn't want to. Okay, sorry, Julia. Joanna. Joanna is going to write. There's been a bidding war for who's going to light the chalice. Lovely. Joanna will light our chalice for us. Thank you. And I'll hand over to Susie.
It takes a spark. It takes fuel. It takes air. And it takes a container to hold them all. It is only with all of these things that we make fire. It takes a call. It takes learning and experience. It takes love. And it takes a community to hold them all. It is only with all of these things that we make a minister. Today we light a chalice, And today we ordain Jennifer to the Unitarian ministry.
We've laid the cables and the wires. We split the wood and stoked the fires. We've lit our town so there is no place for crime to hide. Our church is painted white, and today there's an equal balance of day and night. And we all go quiet, for the word is out. God is in the house. There's no need to worry now. God is in the house. Let's be still together just for a moment. This day is not only special because of the ordination, but because we are on the cusp of the autumn equinox, a day where light and dark are in balance. In this church, it's a tradition to celebrate both the spring and autumn equinoxes and the solstice. In this spirit, there will be a candle lit for each of the directions, creating a sacred holding for our time together. Would those lighting please come forward? O great Spirit of the East, radiance of the rising sun, Spirit of new beginnings, power of life, energy, and vital spark. O great Spirit of the South, protector of the fruitful land, the noble trees and grasses, power of nurturance and endurance. O great Spirit of the West, Spirit of the great waters, of rain, rivers, lakes, and springs, power to dissolve boundaries. O great Spirit of the North, invisible Spirit of the air, your living breath animates all life, power of clarity and of strength. May the spirits of all the four directions guide us and hold us in this service today. Let us sing together. Please stand if you are able and follow the words in your order of service. Come down, O love divine.
Dust and ashes in His feet consume. And let His glorious light shine upon my sight, and glory all what my love in let holy charity guide our destiny, and holiness become my inner
So the process of searching for a new leader began back in October 2021. I won't bore you with the detail, but it was quite a journey. With guidance from Simon Bland, Ministry and Congregation Support Officer at the GA, who was keen to upgrade the process for engaging leaders within the movement, we agreed to take part and be a guinea pig for the project. Little did we know what lay ahead. After more than a year of painstaking work, the search party, having whittled down expressions of interest to serious contenders, was able to make recommendations to the committee, and eventually an offer was made to Jennifer in November 2022. So as part of this process, we put together a short film to be used in our congregational profile. The idea was to encourage applicants who might find the challenge in Brighton appealing, and also weed out those who might feel we were too much of a handful. So I was chosen as the mouthpiece of the church in this film, the responsibility of which completely passed me by at the time. The filmmaker, Sarah West, is a true professional and guided me through the process brilliantly, and I know spent many hours editing my mistakes and faux pas. The search was a long and very intense experience for all of us, some of whom gained a lot more grey hairs. At various points, our nerve was tested, but thankfully we survived intact, and here we are today. So I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Welcome for everybody who comes through that door. It can be quite big for each of us. And yet we find what we need
You don't have to fall into a particular group, and it's very diverse and welcoming and creative. It's a place that you feel you can be safe, and yet you can have fun, and you're accepted for who you are. My name's Fanny Tully, and I'm a long-standing member of the church. If you come in here on a Sunday, you might be surprised that there's very little reference to the Bible, that there's a lot said about wider religion, and that poetry and art and music are part of services. We also celebrate the solstices and the equinoxes, pagan style, which is absolutely fantastic, and we love it. I think the church actually started with a bunch of dissenters who paid £650 for that piece of land in 1819. I think the first meeting in August 1820, there were 350 people in attendance. I'm not sure that they were all Unitarian, but they were curious to know what was going on. And people have been curious ever since.
Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
We're close to the Dome, we're close to the Corn Exchange, the library, the theatres, and a lot of people come here because it's a venue and they love it because it feels gorgeous and it has great acoustics. We have classical concerts here, we have jazz, all sorts of music, performance, theatre, art, you name it. We are diverse, we're challenging, we don't always agree with our own thoughts. So we're never going to be an easy bunch, but we are fun and we do love our church and we love our city. And it's important that we keep sustaining a sacred space in the heart of our city.
Thank you. Because of the inclusivity of our church and of the congregation, Jennifer felt she would like the congregation as a whole to do something creative. And it was suggested that everybody, if they wished to, could offer a word and a sentence to reflect on what it meant to be here in this place and what Unitarianism meant to them. All the words were woven into a poem by one of the congregation, My Lee, and that's what I'm going to read you now. We struggled with the title, but we finally came down with Our Church, Our Words. Peace, joy, sharing under a roof of goodwill, welcome, belonging, walking my talk with my beloved community, centered, rooted. It's my safe place, the place to put me back together and balance my heart and soul. Connection, opened.
When I arrive at church, I have a sense of belonging and anticipation. Grace, community. I feel part of an amazing group of fellow travelers on a spiritual adventure and can connect to a sense of the sacred that is real for me. Comfortable at home. I've had the freedom to explore and choose what feels right for me. Awkward. What could be better than self-sufficiency? Important, connecting. Our Unitarian Church, together with those who share it, has given me a calm, warm space in which to broaden my thinking, to gain strength, and reflect on my values and purpose in life. Welcoming, inclusion. A space of support and safety, openness and love. Eclectic house of goodwill. A beautiful, peaceful, spiritual hub where all are welcome and encouraged to delve deeper into their relationship with spirituality. My experience is like golden threads reaching into the darkness, sparking lanterns, enabled by the bravery of the Unitarian predecessors. Contemplation, freedom to believe. It has broadened my mind and my spiritual horizons. Love and belonging. I have found strength, compassion, spiritual exploring, community, and calm. This is my place of fellow seekers. Amazing, peace, joy. I'm grateful Unitarianism is forever with me.
Thank you so much. Hello, friends. Helen Mason, and I'm the Director of Unitarian College. The college trains Unitarian ministers, lay leaders, and works with children and families. If you want to know more, talk to me after. I first met Jennifer in April 2021. We were just emerging from yet another lengthy COVID lockdown, and the start of Jen's ministry training had been somewhat disrupted. I didn't really know Jennifer, having only met them a couple of times previously online, and I wondered if they were a rather serious and earnest person. But they soon showed us their gentle, wry sense of humour, saying, "It's lovely to meet you in person. You've all got legs." Jennifer has been a brilliant ministry student, thoughtful, compassionate, hardworking, straight-talking, and an enthusiastic member of the team. Respected and loved by their fellow students, Jen has had a really positive impact on the Unitarian College community. I know they won't mind me sharing with you, there were a couple of little wobbles on the way, but Jennifer and I adopted a little mantra that helped us through it. Don't worry, we've got this. Apart from all that ministerial formation and studying, there were a few diverting moments along the way. Jen taking a group of ministry students swimming at Ministry in the Making, watching Emma Raducanu win the US Open, shouting and swearing at England in the Euros, and a vision of Jen trying to drive away from a conference centre in Hampshire with Linda from Belfast spread-eagled on her bonnet. On these occasions, I always say that ministry training changes people. It really does. And it's been a delight to watch Jen grow into their ministerial calling and become the talented, gentle, caring, clear-minded, generous minister that they are today. Jennifer, we're so proud of you. The college's grateful thanks go to Reverend Kate Wyman and the Plymouth Unitarian Congregation for supporting Jen in their first placement, and to the Unitarian Congregation in Hastings, where Jennifer first discerned their calling to Unitarian ministry. And a huge thanks to you all here at Brighton Unitarian Church for seeing what we could all see, that Jennifer's skills and talents would be so beneficial to lead this important community into the future. And I think the last words of thanks should go to Jen's two fluffy doggy friends, without whom I'm sure Jen would tell you this journey would have been much tougher. Well done, Reverend Jennifer Sanders. All of us at Unitarian College, the board, the staff team, and the other students, many of whom are here today, wish you and all our friends here in Brighton the very best for a long, fruitful, and hugely successful ministry. So you better come and get it. And now we're going to sing together again, friends. So please stand if you're able, and we'll sing Let Love Continue Long, which is on your order of service.
day for us to be together, whether physically in the Brighton church or online, as I am having to do today. Some of you may not have met me, which is not important, but I'm sorry not to be able to meet you, which is important for me. Today, you recognize and celebrate formally the arrival of your new minister, Jennifer. My name is Martin. I'm now minister at Godalming, but I've been pleased to have known Brighton Unitarians for many years. I think it was in 2006 when I first came to lead a service for you. And that was when Jane Barton was your minister. And of course, when I became the district minister for London and the South East in 2015, I was often with you and quickly came to love you and to love your church. So much for introductions. Now, I've been asked to bring a charge to the congregation, which, let me say, is a great honour. This means that I won't say a lot about Jennifer, but I do know that she is wonderful, which is true. But I can say how wonderful you are, which is also true. But a charge isn't really about flattery. The charge is about responsibility. Whether you see this new arrangement of minister and people as a partnership, or as some of our forebears called it, a covenant, you are a congregation which is now going to be in a relationship with your minister. And together, you can make this Unitarian church a hot spot for spirituality in Brighton and beyond. Now, I have to say, I'm somewhat worried in case I'm accused of trying to teach you to suck eggs. Of all our Unitarian congregations, you have a reputation for knowing how to produce ministers. I think back at those that I have known. Jane Barraclough and Jeff Jones, sadly no longer with us, but also Stephen Crowther, who's been a great friend to me, and Maria Curtis and Kate Wyman, all spiritually parented by you, by this congregation. And now Jennifer is the latest to join that great spiritual company. So dare I say three things about all of you and your relationship with Jennifer. Firstly, encourage her. I imagine that most of the time she will delight you, and she will know that, which is good. But ministers can be fragile and sensitive too, you know. Sometimes when she has had a tough week, she will come to you feeling unprepared, tired, and worried. Worried that she hasn't done enough for the job that she wants always to be at her best for. Now, strangely, you probably won't notice that. In fact, you may think that the service or a sentence within the service was brilliant just for you. Let her know that, and lift that terrible burden which ministers get burdened down with, the guilt of being human. Now, secondly, be here. Be here for her as well as for you. There was a minister's wife called Patricia O'Neill, some of you may remember her husband, Patrick, who was minister at Roslin Hill for several years and a great man. She used to say, do you know, it only takes a good Sunday and a good congregation to make a minister happy for the week. So do make the effort to come along. Listen to Jesus' messages, sing the hymns and songs she chooses, not all of which you may know, and be attentive. And the third thing is this, and you might not all be comfortable with this, but I think it's important. Pray for her. We Unitarians can be a bit feeble when it comes to prayer. But you know, when visitors come to try us out, they don't expect us not to pray and not to believe in wonder and the divine. I know your former minister used to encourage you to pray. And if he were here, I am sure he would encourage you to do this for Jennifer. It will keep you focused on her ministry, and it will keep you spiritual. Abraham Heschel was a great Jewish rabbi and theologian who went from Poland to America, and he became involved with Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement. And he used to say, prayer invites God to be present in our spirits and in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched lands, nor mend broken bridges, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. And these are the things you have called her to do for you. You won't see a lot of what she does. Quite probably, you won't see any more than a fraction of her work. But remember that it isn't just the time she spends leading you in worship and functions here, or when she visits you or socializes with you. Recognize the emotional merry-go-round which can be part of a minister's everyday life. 1 minute, the life and soul of the party, then sitting patiently with someone who is making the journey or transition from this world. Then perhaps walking a few corridors and floors further on in the hospital to be with young parents who are ecstatic about the new life that's been entrusted to them and who they will begin that child's journey with. Now, perhaps that last illustration, when you look at the age profile of many of our Unitarian congregations, might make you think, well, that would be a miracle of biblical proportions. But of course, that is the point. It isn't all about you and what you think. You are enabling Jennifer to do her ministry, not just among you, but in the wider community. And in enabling her to do that, she is ministering among you and for you. So go forward together, and I'm sure we'll be hearing many wonderful things about Jennifer's ministry here in Brighton.
Friends, we're going to sing together once again. Find a stillness, hold a stillness.
Hello, I'm the minister at Plymouth Unitarians, and I was once, in the distant past, a member here. Jennifer, after all the wonderful visits you made to Plymouth, the most southwesterly outpost of Unitarianism, I'm really glad to make the return journey to be part of this ceremony. I think the last time I spoke here was just before I set off on my own ministry 10 years ago. So there is a nice symmetry to being back here now. I know from your time on placement with us that you bring passion and compassion to all that you do. I remember our visit together to our oldest member, dear Ralph Brown, now 102, by the way, and how much that meant to you. I remember how you brought wisdom and clarity to our crisis as we frantically searched for a treasurer. You could help a lot of people, I'm sure, there. And how you seemed at ease with and interested in all of us, whether church members on a Sunday morning or people dropping into our Wednesday community cafe. And I know you will bring the same qualities of presence and perception to your ministry here in Brighton. Personally, I enjoyed and hugely valued our many long chats in cafes and on walks around the city. So do I have any words of wisdom to offer you? I honestly don't know, because I think I shared what I could with you on those long walks and chats, but maybe 3 reminders. Be yourself sounds obvious, and yet it is so important to find your own voice as a minister and to keep your integrity in all that you do. I know you already know the importance of ensuring that you have good support and mentorship. And do remember that however much you do, you'll probably never feel that it's enough. So give yourself a break. I did want to share just a small part of the Divinity School address, which Ralph Waldo Emerson gave to the graduating class of Harvard Divinity School in 1838, and which the Reverend Bill Darlison read at my own induction. And it's something that I've always held close to my heart, so I'd like to keep this tradition going. Emerson describes attending a very dull service. Not that we've ever experienced that. And he finds himself wondering why he, or anyone else really, has bothered to come. He writes, "A snowstorm was falling around us. The snowstorm was real. The preacher, merely spectral. And the eye felt the sad contrast in looking at him, and then out of the window behind him into the beautiful meteor of the snow. He had lived in vain. He had not one word intimating that he had laughed or wept, was married or in love, had been commended or cheated or chagrined. If he had ever lived and acted, we were none the wiser for it. The capital secret of his profession, namely, to convert life into truth, he had not learned. Not one fact in all his experience had he yet imported into his doctrine. This man had ploughed and planted and talked and bought and sold. He had read books. He had eaten and drunken. His head aches. His heart throbs. He smiles and suffers. Yet there was not a surmise, a hint, in all the discourse that he had ever lived at all. Not a line did he draw out of real history. The true preacher can be known by this, that they deal out to the people their life passed through the fire of thought. Jennifer, may you embrace the challenge and the enormous privilege of converting your life into truth, life that has been passed through the fire of thought. All of us at Plymouth Unitarians love you and wish you the very best in your ministry. And we hope you'll come and see us again soon.
It's wonderful to be here and to take you all in. This is my first visit to this place. And what a day. Thank you, Jennifer, for the privilege you've honoured me with. I can truly feel here and now the human love and the divine love that lives here. I've had the privilege of journeying beside you as your mentor and your spiritual accompanier for so many years. And I've witnessed you in your struggles, in your joy, in your prayer, in your meditation, in your problems, issues, and in your swimming. And now, here you are, And it's my turn to witness you in your transformation, here in this sacred space, surrounded by the people who love and support you, surrounded by helpers, seen and unseen. And this is my simple and sincere charge to you, Jennifer. Right here, right now, breathe. Breathe in the love of these people. Breathe in the love and support of everyone who has brought you here. Today is your day. Breathe and keep breathing. And when you need help, it will always be here for you. All you have to do is ask. I've travelled up today from Totnes, and Totnes was very much influenced by Rabindranath Tagore. And so I brought some words of wisdom from him. He said, if you want to grow bigger, begin by bowing humbly to yourself. And today I bow humbly to you, my dear friend. Bow humbly to yourself for the journey you've been on and the journey you're stepping into. And I bless you and all who support you in your journey. And I pledge to you my friendship and my support for as long as I'm able to give it. Bless you, my dear friend.
In the light of all that has been said, and in the echo of all that we have heard, we come now to an important moment of quiet reflection. The importance of this moment actually was reinforced in me by the reason I was arriving late this afternoon. As I sat on the coastliner in the traffic which had ground to a halt because of the demonstration that was taking place, I began to feel frustrated. But then I looked at all the Palestinian flags and I stopped feeling frustrated. Instead, I felt appropriate to be coming here to be honoring and celebrating a ministry which creates a house of prayer in this world, which holds a space in which we may honestly and with compassion hold the pain of the world. Please, will you take a little time now to settle yourselves in this sacred space, opening heart and mind and soul to that which is sacred to you. Divine Spirit, God of love, deep presence, ultimate meaning. O limitless space. O eternal mystery, O endless cycles of death and birth, O miracle of life, O the wondrous dance of it all. Silence is God's first language. Everything else is but a poor translation. And in order to hear that language, we must learn to be still and to rest in divine quietude. Therefore, we shall do just that. And in the silence that now follows, you may wish to offer your own personal prayers of appreciation and support, perhaps of blessing for Jennifer and this congregation as they prepare to hear and speak their vows of ordination. I shall close the silence with a few more words, but now let us be still together. May you, Jennifer, and may you, the congregation here, be blessed in your collaboration. And may your work, as well as your worship, be itself a blessing both to you and to the wider community within which you minister together here in Brighton. May it be so, and blessed be.
Wow, what a moment. Almost feels like I should be taking off my shoes because the place on which we are standing is holy ground, which we've made holy by our presence and by our prayers. Only I'm wearing monkey boots and they take a bit of getting off, so I'm not going to. I'm glad for a moment of laughter as well, because we need that too. We need that energy of joy as well as reverence, because that's the power we use at Ordination. And I'd love to hear all of your voices. So good afternoon. Thank you. Well, friends, my name is Ant, and I'm the senior tutor with Unitarian College. And I had the privilege, and it was a privilege, and most of the time it was a pleasure, to walk with Jennifer throughout ministry training and serving as Jennifer's tutor. And I'm delighted to be here with you in Brighton today, my second visit to this congregation. I also serve as president of the Ministerial Fellowship, which is the professional association, well, we try to be professional association of Unitarian ministers. And so I can bring with me the greetings of all of Jennifer's colleagues in the Unitarian ministry today. And having presented Jennifer with a college certificate earlier, marking the formal end of ministry training, we can now come to a moment of ordination. What on earth does that mean? Well, like many answers to questions in Unitarian churches, the answer is, it depends. Traditionally seen as a moment of consecration, a setting apart, the moment a person truly becomes a minister and the Spirit equips them for the work. But perhaps we Unitarians see ordination a little differently. Maybe you like the word ordination, or maybe it is not quite right. Perhaps affirmation is better. Because in these moments, we affirm what we believe has already happened. Jennifer is already a minister. Jennifer has already been ministering here in this place for some time. Jennifer is already giving proof of living a ministry, already fulfilling the role of both leader and servant in this place. So this part of our service is actually a moment of recognition that Jennifer is a minister, following the path to which they were called. We just have a moment of opportunity to add our own blessing, as well as seek the blessing of the Spirit upon Jennifer's present and future ministry. I know that for Jennifer, ministry is about just showing up and doing their best, keeping God at the heart of their ministry, continuing the journey wherever it may lead. It's about guiding and walking with others on their paths. bringing equality, access to spiritual growth, and building a safe haven here to all who may seek it. Keeping that door of this church open and taking the message out into the community that there is a safe, inclusive, diverse, spiritual haven here. Well, we already know, and if you don't, I'm telling you, Jennifer is already an excellent minister. And in faith, we believe good things for the future. Oh, Comforter, draw near. Within Jennifer's heart appear, and kindle it, thy holy flame bestowing. I'm going to ask Jennifer to join me now. Do you want to come over? Yes. Yeah, you need to be over there. That's it. I've got some questions for you. And in a last moment of tutorial guidance, I can tell you that the answer to them all is I do.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. All right.
Jennifer, do you accept your path in Unitarian ministry, welcoming all who seek our spiritual path, whilst upholding the worth and the dignity of all persons?
I do.
Do you seek to do your best, to work to be inclusive in your ministry, leading people in worship, speaking the truth in love, and caring for your congregation and community?
I do.
Do you seek to give back what you have so generously been given, a Unitarian pathway to God?
I do.
Do you seek to offer an equal and accessible spatial pathway to all who seek it?
I do.
Do you call upon the God of your understanding to walk with you each step of your ministry journey, one day at a time, and to live an open-hearted and loving life of service to others?
I do.
Do you seek to accept the imperfections in yourself, and by doing this, so view others in compassion and love?
I do.
Do you vow in ministry to seek justice and equality, be an advocate for those whose voices cannot be heard, and to help those in need?
I do.
Then, having answered these questions, I invite you, Jennifer, to make your own personal vow for ministry.
Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I vow to stand in the light of your love and give service one day at a time, walking a path of inclusivity, grace, and love. One hand in yours, God, and the other as a Unitarian minister, setting aside all I think I know for a continual renewal of faith.
Well, there's going to be a bit of moving around now. Jennifer needs to take a couple of steps that way. And can I first ask Jennifer's niece, Kat, and Sandra and Joy to join us at the front to surround Jennifer? And then I'm told if I mention the crew, they will know who they are. If they'd like to come forward, please. And then Sandrine, Georgie, Lindsay, just surround as much as we can. Let me move this out of the way. One second. Okay, and then I invite any ministers who would like to take part to come to the front now as well, please. And ministry students, I'm told. Wonderful. That's fine. I'm going to gather them in. Yeah. So yes, just gather kind of in to surround, and either kind of lay a hand on Jennifer, or if you can't manage it, lay a hand on the shoulder of the person in front of you. But all of you are included as well, and that might mean a bit of acrobatics. So those on the front row, if they can kind of stand up and lay a hand on the shoulder, and then we need to make a link somehow. So it might mean laying a hand on the shoulder of the person in front of you, stretching across the aisle if you're comfortable. So somehow it's all linked. So what is going on here? If you want to come forward, you can more than welcome to. So that everybody that wants to be is somehow connected and included in. Oh, apparently it's not an option according to Jennifer.
No pass option. Please.
And all I'm going to do once we're linked is just say a short prayer. Have we managed it? Then let us pray. Spirit of life, God of all love, contained within each of us, yet greater than us all, we give thanks today for calling Jennifer not only to serve as a minister within the Unitarian Church, but also to live a wider calling, serving as minister in this locality and in this world. May Jennifer be filled with the gifts of the Spirit, as they are ordained now to the office of ministry, committing themselves to a life of leader and servant in the order of all that is good. May Jennifer be for each of us a source of strength and inspiration, that with Jennifer we may share in that ministry of all that is holy, seeking reconciliation for those divided, peace and healing for those who are broken or who live in fear, and justice for those who are oppressed. May Jennifer be blessed and strengthened and equipped for the work ahead. Amen. Friends, quietly return to your seats, and then there'll be a further prayer led by Reverend Danny Crosby.
By John O'Donoghue. May the blessings released through your hands cause windows to open in darkened minds. May the sufferings your calling brings be but winter before the spring. May the companionship of your doubt restore what your beliefs leave out. May the secret hungers of your heart harvest from emptiness its sacred fruit. May your solitude be a voyage into the wilderness and wonder of God. May your words have the prophetic edge to enable the heart to hear itself. May the silence where your calling dwells foster your freedom in all you do and feel. May you find words full of divine warmth to clothe the dying in the language of dawn. May the slow light of the mystery be a sure shelter around your future. Amen.
I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and the green was easy and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers blew in the desert, and the air is fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and the way was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars are shining and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and the sound was easy and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. And the ancient pain is forgotten, and the Father's debts are clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land.
I don't usually do encores, but I am today. We now come to the sounds like the party afterwards is going to be really good, doesn't it? We come now to the ceremony of induction. Traditionally, the moment when someone officially takes up the ministry in a congregation. But we know that Jennifer has already been serving as minister here. So again, induction or affirmation, and an opportunity for congregation and minister to make some promises one to another for the days, months, and years ahead. And when I spoke with Jennifer to get a sense of how this part of the service was to be, Jennifer told me that it's about just building on the relationships we've already started. It's living the visions that we all wanted, to uphold the spiritual development of all who would seek it, opening those doors of this church to the wider community, working together on our shared pathways, each taking a share of the load, walking with each other in faith and understanding, working together and looking toward our wider Unitarian movement. So I'm going to invite Jennifer back. And I have a question first for Jennifer. The answer to this one is, I will.
Okay, you got it.
Jennifer, will you be a faithful minister among these people, leading them in worship, speaking the truth in love, caring for people? Will you be active in the affairs of this church and in your ministry? Will you try always to show the ways of truth and justice?
I will.
And this question is for the members, the friends, and attenders of Brighton Unitarians. You know who you are, and I will know who you are by you answering a very loud "we will" to this question. as Jennifer takes up the office of minister here, will you, the members and friends of Brighton Unitarians, promise to pay Jennifer fairly and provide for their welfare as they work among you? Will you stand together as minister and congregation in times of joy and sorrow? Will you listen to Jennifer's words, welcome Jennifer's pastoral care, and consider Jennifer's guidance? And most importantly, will you induct Jennifer as your minister today? One final question, and that is for everybody here who is happy to answer. We will. Will we all join in the work and celebration of a free, compassionate, and loving religion, recognizing the worth of every person and the oneness of humanity, the earth, and the universe? We will. Then, as Jennifer is inducted to the ministry of this place, and in honor of the promises just made as minister and congregation, let us pray. Spirit of life, known to us in beginnings and endings, in possibilities and promises, we give thanks for all that has led to this moment and all that is yet to come. We give thanks for those who have mentored us, the women and men in our lives who were our teachers, who said the turning words of encouragement when we needed them the most. We give thanks for this church that has seen and embraced so much change, and for all who have sustained this community of faith for many years past, and will do for generations to come. We give thanks for this minister and all that they have been given and will give to the living tradition we share. May the words we have spoken, the dreams we have shared, the faith we've renewed this afternoon, give this minister wisdom, comfort, courage for the days ahead. For the way is often hard. The path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. But deep down, there is another truth. Jennifer is not. We are never. This church is never alone. So bless us in that knowledge, O Spirit of life. And to these words of prayer, let us respond, blessed be, blessed be. Before the congregational blessing, can we welcome, in rapturous applause, the newly inducted minister of Brighton Unitarians, the Reverend Jennifer Sanders.
So the members of the congregation of this church take this opportunity to individually bless Jennifer's ministry here. So this is a time of new beginnings, a journey we take together in the presence of that which is sacred, the divine, and we ask that this journey is blessed. So what I would ask is that members of the congregation, friends, attenders of Brighton Unitarians, could you fall in to your place for this moment? You have been instructed previously. If you'd like to find your place round the outer edge of the church, in front of the pews or wherever. And if you could place yourselves so that you can actually pass something from one to the other. So no great big gaps between you. At the back in particular, there seems to be a massive gap.
I'll come with you.
So Mike is going to pass a stone around, which I invite you, as it comes to you and is placed in your hand, for you to imbue that stone with your individual silent blessing. Hold it in your hands for a moment and pass it on. Okay, it's going to go that way and come all the way around. I know. You can have a lie down.
Yeah, lie down.
Okay, so Mike has something for you now. So Jennifer, we thank you for your commitment to our church and the work you do. As we look to our future together, we gift you this stone as a mark of our dedication with all our blessing. Keep it safe, don't lose it, as a token of the relationship between all of us here. May that which is sacred, the blessed energy of this place, be with you in your ministry to come. May it be so.
Thank you.
I felt so proud seeing Jennifer on the stage at the GA's annual meeting in April this year, being witnessed alongside Eric and Linda as new ministers, supported by and in service of our whole Unitarian movement. Proud that, yes, this is who our ministers are. This is who is shaping our future. This is who we support so they can be in service to our community and to the wider world. I wish I could be with you today in Brighton to be part of the celebration, not just of Jennifer and the role they have stepped into for the Brighton congregation, but in celebration of you, the congregation, in taking this courageous step into the unknown. Even though some of you have known Jennifer for many years, and they may not feel very unknown, the journey you are embarking on together is uncharted territory. And Jennifer, as your minister, is not the Jennifer that first walked up your steps. You have already been part of the journey to let Jennifer find their calling to ministry, in walking alongside them in their training and in going through the process of discernment to appoint them as your minister. And today marks a new threshold. Perhaps here by the seaside, a good metaphor is setting off in a boat together, entrusting Jennifer to listen well to you and also listen to the wind, to scan the sea and watch the stars from their unique vantage point. The courage of beginning this journey into the unknown is that it will change you all. It won't all be plain sailing, and there may be some seasickness along the way, but it's a long journey, and those difficult times become warming stories for later. And so I don't wish you calm seas, as those aren't the times that we're in, but I wish you a good voyage, one that is full of good cheer, of rowing together well, and of course some rousing songs. I have great trust in Jennifer's sense of direction, and I'm grateful for their commitment to the Unitarian movement, the gifts they are uncovering and the care that their ministry brings, with all Jennifer's sensitivity, clarity, creativity and boldness. I'm excited for the good folk of Brighton who don't yet know what magic lies here, but might just find their spiritual home with you. I'm excited to hear what you and Jennifer learn together on your voyage that might benefit other congregations and our wider movement. I'm excited to see how the adventures unfold, and I send my love and congratulations to you all.
I'm Jeff, the President or the human rubber stamp of the General Assembly, and thank you very much for inviting me to this ordination. I'm standing on holy ground, and like Ant, I should be taking my shoes off, but I've got holes in my socks, so you'll excuse me. I found this really inspiring. I've been to getting on for 15 chapels now. A really inspiring ordination service. And I found the welcome I had from you and the caretaker when I arrived rather early. And apologies that I interrupted things when I came in. But I sense that this is an exciting, inspiring chapel. And may the well-kept secret of Unitarianism blossom and more people find it. And I'm sure this is the type of chapel that can do it. And you, Jennifer, I think are the type of minister that can. I was at the General Assembly and heard you and your colleagues speak. And for an old man, I got quite excited that here we've got the future of Unitarianism. So go forth and proclaim the message of Unitarianism. And all the very best to you all in the future, however choppy the seas may be. And good luck to you, Jennifer. And thank you very much for inviting me.
Good afternoon. I'm Simon Bland. I'm the Ministry and Congregational Support Officer. And that role sees me working with congregations and ministers on a wide range of issues and matters that concern all of us. But I think one of the great privileges I have is to witness that journey of a ministerial candidate, an interview, then as a ministry student, and then as a minister. And I guess it's because of that, Jennifer asked me to say a few words, a few reflections on that journey over the last few years that we've shared together. It's fair to say that no two pathways are the same, but some are more unique than others. And I am absolutely delighted to be able to take this opportunity. Now, in true award-style protocol, I'm unable to be with you, but there is some symmetry to joining Jennifer on screen. Jennifer was interviewed during COVID, and so actually we first met on Zoom via a screen. And so this feels in some ways like the closing of a loop, or at least a return match, Jennifer, to come via screen into now your home and ministry. We all recall how surreal those times were, but it's a testament to Jennifer that she was able to transmit even then that passion, that empathy and that loving care she has for people, and those values that became the bedrock of her training and now her ministry with you in Brighton. I think it's fair to say that the no direct roads box was ticked on the sat-nav for the journey to Brighton Pulpit. You kindly helped us pilot new guidelines, and I think it's interesting that we found a number of dead ends and roundabouts without exits. And so I thank you so much for the gift that you've given to the movement in helping us develop those. Truly appreciate that. And thank both Jennifer and the search committee and the congregation for all the time that went into that. I know that you'll work together, not just to wish for a better tomorrow, but to challenge the injustices and indifferences of today. In Jennifer, you have a very special and very gifted minister. And Jennifer, you have a very dedicated and supportive congregation. You and enjoy and celebrate today. And I look forward to hearing about it when I get back off holiday. Thank you very much.
We're almost there. Thank you. I'm CJ McGregor. I'm the district minister of the London district, and I'm here today to bring you greetings and congratulations on behalf of the district. And I'm also here because I heard that there was cake being served after, okay? And an occasion such as this reminds me of the partnership and commitment minister and congregation dedicate themselves to, what we've been hearing a lot about today. But let me offer a very brief story that is emblematic of how in a shared ministry
The minister shapes the congregation's collective ministry, and the congregants shapes the minister's ministry, and hopefully in both cases for the better. A new pastor received a call to be on the bedside of one of the elders in the congregation, a pillar of the church, and she was on her deathbed. And she wanted him to visit. And now he had a fair number of commitments that day, but of course, he shifted things around and went straight to her. And when he arrived, she seemed to be asleep. Now, he didn't want to disturb her, so he waited quietly and patiently beside her bedside, but couldn't stop thinking about all that was needed to be done on his list. And after a while, he looked at his watch to see how much time had passed. And at that very moment, she opened her eyes and said, "Do you have somewhere more important to be?" Flustered and jolted to a new level of wakefulness, he said, "No, you're right. I am here." And then he took a deep breath and sat with her, this woman who he had begun to love, this woman who meant so much to the people he served. He turned his heart towards prayer and his full body towards presence. And those were her last words, and they shaped the minister he became and the quality of his presence. The beauty of a call to shared ministry in a congregation is that the minister and the members can be present to and with one another's callings in ways that commingle into truth and into beauty and compassion and just relations with one another here in the world, here in this place and in the world beyond your doorstep. In shared ministry, you must be present and awake to what is called for this moment. This requires a degree of searching, but it also requires landing on an answer in this moment, or the opportunity to serve in word and in deed will pass you by. So I ask you, what is your current answer to what it means to be a church that responds to the pressing needs here in your chapel and the pressing needs of the community in which you are planted? How will you engage your heart and your body in service of love? And searching for these answers makes the ordination of your minister even more powerful. So congratulations, Jennifer. We know that the district will be stronger and greater with you as a leader. And may your call to the ministry be blessed. And congratulations to this congregation. May you support your minister's call with understanding and love.
Tea and cake are coming. Don't know about you. I need a cup of tea. Normally when you write a service, you go, okay, yeah, 45, 50 minutes. I didn't time this one. Sorry about that. I have a few words. Firstly, I want to say thank you for all of you to come here, those of you in the church and those that have joined online, and also those I know will join the recording later when their time permits. I really acknowledge that for many of you, it has taken a huge amount of logistics to be here. By train, plane, car, bicycle, taxi, legs, and other such things like TARDISes. Thank you. Thank you. Some of you are seasoned Unitarians, having spent many years coming to this church. Others are getting to know what it's like to be part of this community. And some of you, I know, have just stepped beyond the red doors for the first time. And I know for some of you, that is no easy feat. Thank you. My hope is that what you've witnessed here today and hopefully felt is love and community. And that may, just may, move you to come again. Or at the very least have reassurance that the door is always open for each and every one of you. This place is a sacred place to come and seek a reprieve from the toils of every day. There's an invitation to be part of a spiritual community, to seek God in a way that has meaning for you, to work for justice in a world that seems to be so unequal, to celebrate the little wins and to mourn the huge losses, to ask the big questions and tussle with the answers, and to do hard things. I came here about 12, 13 years ago to support a friend of mine who was taking their first service here. They said, "Would you come on Sunday at 11 and cheer in the back?" I went, "Seriously? 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday?" That's what friends are for. And I found what I didn't even know I was looking for. A sacred space that welcomed me and welcomed me fully as I am and as I develop and be, and supported in my exploration and growth in faith. So beware. Magical and mystical things can happen when you walk through those red doors. In a few years' time, you may just be called to ministry. And yet, what is that word, ministry? Isn't it that we all do it in just different ways? We clean the toilets, we make sandwiches for the kids, we type the emails, we correct the spelling, we care for our parents and partners, we show up on a daily basis to serve those around us. We cut people's hair. We counsel others. We make spreadsheets. We take people out, walking on the hills. We sew. We chat. Drink coffee. We teach. We make art. All of this is ministering, and ministering is holy work. So not only do we celebrate the significance of Brighton Unitarian Church and myself committing to a spiritual journey here together, we also take a moment to look around at those that we are sitting next to. Some we may know really well, some we may have just said hello to before this service. So let's just take a moment and look around at the people that we sit next to each other. All of these people are doing holy work. Ministry is holy work, and we do it together a day at a time. I've got here, it says, so after the hymns are sung, and most of you know that I'm dyslexic, it should say after the hymns are sung. After the hymns are sung, the tea is drunk and the cake is eaten. We will continue here at Brighton to keep the doors of this church open, not only for those who venture to seek a spiritual space that welcomes them as they are, but to carry the message into this community and spread the word that there is a church that seeks justice, that offers a pathway of spiritual development to all who seek it, and that welcomes you all with no hidden agenda. This is just the beginning. But for now, in this moment, we give thanks. Thanks for our time together today. Thanks for our willingness to commit to a path of faith. Thanks for all those that help us on our daily journeys. We thank those who have walked before us and those who are yet to come. Amen and blessed be. We sing our final hymn, Give Thanks for Life, be extremely raucous. That's such a rocking hymn. Oh, okay. We are just about there. Look at that, nearly. I need a volunteer to extinguish these candles. So somebody or 4 of you come up. Whoever feels it, come. Don't be shy. If we can wait all day. You're not going to get any cake or tea. Yay! that did it. O great Spirit of the north, we give thanks. O great Spirit of the east, we give thanks. O great Spirit of the south, we give thanks. O great Spirit of the west, we give thanks. All of you give thanks to those 4 people, because then you get tea and cake. The light of this chalice is a sign of hope, of light and love. It has lit this service today, and each time it is relit in this church, it will bring the spark of our commitments here today. But I also invite you all to take the light of our faith out into the world. May you be blessed in love. May you walk this path of life with a full heart. And may the love of the Spirit dwell in you always. Amen, and blessed be. Yes! We are going to have, just in a moment, a stonking tune from the organ. And what I'd really like you to do is to make your way out into the front of the church, because we're going to have try and get you all in to a photo before we have tea. I'm sorry, you are going to get tea and cake. It's really mean, isn't it? Like, for goodness sake. So the quicker you get out there, and the quicker we take the picture, and then we'll have tea and cake, and blessings to you all.
That's fine. I'll try and I don't see my foot. I can't believe I'm going to miss.
When's your train? 5:10. I'll give you 5 to go with.
Amen.